a place in this world everyone should know. Beautiful Barbados, if I may say so. Place in this world everyone should know. Beautiful Barbados, if I may say so. You may travel.
Discussion about the ability to do extempo. Among those guys that sang hymns on my aunt's shop step was a guy called Vincent Messiah, who was known as Mighty Blecky. And we had a short guy named Jackie Graves. He was from the Eagle Hall area. And I don't think I've heard too many people sing sweeter than Jackie. Jackie was very, very, very good at doing extempo. So when they sat on the shop step on weekend nights and so on, they'd have their session when they would start rhyming on everybody. Strange enough, I did not pick it up from the Trinidadians, although I know a few of them did it. But I picked it up from a couple of local lads. And Jackie was so good. So it was a practice thing. Keep going at it all the time. Fellow over there read it, Kevin Bell said, you know what I mean? I heard that he mother did, and it was like extempo all the time. And I would say that me getting into entertainment in a big way came from my ability to extempo. Funny thing is, I have never found it easy to teach anybody how to extempo. It seems to be something you either got or you ain't got it, right? And one of the reasons why I was not really that excited in that way because I got hooked up with a lot of the Trinidadians. I got hooked up with Ivan Critchlow, who we called Critch Ivan in those days. He was a promoter. And a guy called Allenby, H.T. Allenby. Now those guys brought in people, Sir Sean. So I brought in Calypsonians from Trinidad and all the other islands and so on every year after Carnival. And they would have shows in Barbados. And the Mighty Charmer and Prowler, you had Prowler and Charmer, those were the main two that would write a calypso and go on stage with the Trinidad boys and sing, because it was part of the agreement that you should have somebody from Barbados on the show. Charmer was our only really noted calypsonian, Mighty Charmer, Leopold Curtin. He was already only noted calypsonian, but I had this desire to be a charmer, right? So we became very, very close friends, and we have a lot of these clashes. Up to this day, I still don't call myself a calypsonian. I like to be known as an entertainer, because if you catch an evening with our radio, believe it or me, you will hear just as much other stuff as you hear calypso. And in those days, I had a very good voice. I was a soloist of St. Andrew's Church Choir eventually. I became a soloist. And I did calypsos, country and western, ballads, songs from the shows, classics, I name it, everything. So I still never liked the idea of being called a calypsonian, but that was the title they gave me when I went on stage with a lot of those boys from Trinidad. Because when Charmer left the island for a few years, I took over and filled his spot as a representative for Barbados on the calypso stage. And Prowler too, he left Barbados many years ago. Prowler never came back as far as I know.
You remember your first recording?
Oh, I remember the very, very first time that I heard my voice on a tape. There was a guy in Spicetown by the name of Ken Koger. He used to call me Iceman. In those days, nobody had no fridge or nothing, so a big truck would load up with ice and come down and drive from town to Spicetown every day. And a guy called Rocky, and you bite that 5 cent an ice, 4 cent an ice, or whatever. And Ken Koger liked my singing because I used to be all around Spicetown, singing all on the street. And he invited me to come by him. He he had a surprise for me. So when I got there, he had this machine, and he said, sing something. And I did it, and I heard it play back, and it was unbelievable. I said, wait, mother's humor. So between him and a guy called Adrian Roach, because it was a drug license by someone named Noel Roach and Sons. And Adrian was Roach's son. And Adrian invited me to his home too. And along with the guitarist, we did something. My first recording would have been Yours Sincerely. That is 1966. A guy came in from the States, a guy named Patrick Schubert, white guy, and he had written a song about black power, and the problems we have. And he wanted somebody to sing it, so he approached a few people, and everybody that he approached referred him back to me. So I'm going to see this guy radio, he can put the tune to it for you, and he would sing it for you. So he met me at Barbados Beach Club one night and showed me these lyrics. And then he had spoken to a couple of guys, Merriman and everybody told him go and check the radio. So he asked me if I could put a tune to it. I had the tune finished in about 10 minutes. And then he proceeded, he said, well, we're going to record this. And we named it the Black Power Situation too. And I went to the studio to record the Black Power Situation. Those were the days of the 45s. So I had to look for something to put on the flip side. And while thinking about it, I remembered hearing the song played at the Blue Waters Hotel in 1961. I remember hearing this song play, and I remember everybody on the floor dancing. They didn't hear the lyrics, but it was such a wonderful melody, everybody was dancing. So I said to the pianist, I said, Walter, I heard you playing the tune last Monday night. Name Yours Sincerely. I said, you know who wrote it? They said, yes, I know who wrote it. I said, well, I joined the 45, and I only got one track. And I would like to make Yours Sincerely the other track. He said, well, I had a problem with all the guy named Vernon Kentucky wrote it. I said, Vernon Kentucky from King Edward Road, back on. See, I said, well, that's my mate. This is my school mate. We said, the school side by side. So I went in and see Vernon, and I tell him I want you, and I want Yours Sincerely. So he said, no problem. So that was my first recording, the Black Power Situation and Yours Sincerely.
Would you consider that your favorite recording, Yours Sincerely? Or do you have a favorite?
I would think that would be my favorite. It have to be my favorite. Because after that, I guess nobody at all didn't know nobody in the radio. After this present moment, I recorded that in 1966, and after this moment, there's still some DJs and so many radio stations that have never ever played any recording by me except for Yours Sincerely. It's the only one they accept.
Vibes is the most intricate part of the song. That when you hear the vibes, make you want to know what's coming next.
I want to know.
Yeah.
And there
Because
were 2 people in my business, everybody in the family in Dobie.
yeah,
Smith, and he's a great girl.
yeah,
Guy named Dobie, and this guy called Andrew Hunt too.
right, yeah.
There's a white guy named Andrew Hunt. As a matter of fact,
So who played the vibes on that for you?
a guy called Emerson Drakes
Mr. Drake, so
from cross Whitehall.
yeah.
I lived in Whitehall in those days. I had the Palmer was Tom Bilcher, who played steel pan. Emerson played the vibes. Bell Small played the bass. That was the team. It was an all K-Phil thing, and I lived in K-Phil then. But Emerson was a genius when it comes to the vibes. And I mean, I never did anything like that. That evening, I was real hoarse. And I went and bought a half gallon of rum. I brought it in the studio. I am not a drinking man. But I had this thing to do, and I had a few moments to do it. Because they were coming in to record. I think it was the national anthem. that a group was coming in to record. It's 66, yeah. And they said that we didn't have too long in the studio, so we had to rush up. And I told Emerson, take it away, and he came with it, baby. And I stood up outside Kirahan, listening to it, and hearing all the people come in. That can't be no local group. Never heard of that yet. Can't be no local group. And I said, I'm so feeling really smart.
The thing about it, it sounds like if there's such a thing as the perfect recording. I mean, everything about the song is just right. I guess that's why the longevity
Drums is just a little sharp.
Yeah, a little sharp, but the vibe started to get that cool, and then when you started to sing, that was the icing on the cake. Yeah.
Drums was not his thing. Tom was steel pan man. Was the first panel.
Yeah.
And he got the ability to play a little drum himself, but he wasn't too good on the drum.
Yeah. He got a little happy on the. He got a little happy on the toms, but
there's nothing wrong with how he played the drums. I said that was sharp.
Yeah.
It was very, very sharp. But the rolling and everything was right.
Yeah. And I know you did 2 albums.
I did more than 2 albums.
Well, 2 that I know of.
I did. The first one was Rhymes and Rhythms with the Mighty Jerry and I.
Right.
And then I had, I did the Midget and the Giant. No, you asked for it.
You're right.
You asked for it was my second album. The third one was the Midget and the Giant. This is when I had Hubert Grant and the Square working with me.
Yeah, is this the one where you took the picture in Swan Street by
right by the
yeah,
with Sir Don sitting on the
with the car.
Right, Sir Don sitting on the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Midget and the Giant.
You're Midget and the Giant, right? Yeah.
The Midget was supposed to be Miss Springer, and I was supposed to be
Johnny and Tim in our ministry, basically, right? Yeah.
Then after that, I did the Faces album.
Yeah.
In collaboration with Jerry, with Gabby.
Yeah.
But it was,
that's a very interesting song, Faces. Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, you really have to listen to it to understand what it's all about, you know. But I would say that you've been one of the pioneers in the entertainment industry, and you might not have gotten your accolades, but maybe not from the population. But I think that people know what you did, and maybe, you know, let's hope it's not too late. It comes to light that, you know, you are one of the pioneers of the Indian entertainment industry, and your contribution is not going to be like, you know, just pushed aside. So that's why stuff like this is where people can still see that you're alive and well, if you will, and you know, they can also look back and learn from what you did, and it'd be part of history.